I remember the exact words. "You're not invited to the festive period this year," my father snapped, his voice sharp enough to slice through the silence of his kitchen. "Fine," I replied, calm and steady. My thumb hovered over my banking application. In that single breath, I quietly transferred the $10,000 I'd sent him for the holiday season back into my personal account. 2 taps later, the mountain retreat, reservation in his name, our family's supposed winter haven, was gone. By morning, I had 20 missed calls and 1 message that made me laugh out loud. I should start at the beginning, shouldn't I? Not with his words, but with the years I wasted believing he loved me the way a father should. When I was a child, the festive season was the only time he played the role. Presents under the evergreen, a forced smile, whiskey poured just out of view. He'd promised that the following year would be better. That next year he'd show up for me. I clung to those promises like sacred text. But promises rot when they are empty. Over the years, I saw the truth. His affection was transactional. His tenderness was for sale. His approval was conditional on how useful I was to him. The breaking point arrived quietly last summer. I called him, excited, having landed a significant client at work, my first major deal. He cut me off mid-sentence. "That's nice. Listen, I need you to send me some money. The roof's leaking." No congratulations, no pride, just a demand. As if I were his personal financial institution. I sent it anyway because I still yearned for his approval. That's how he had conditioned me. But then came the slip. A cousin posted photos online. My father standing on a brand new vessel, drink in hand, grinning ear to ear. The caption, "Dad's early retirement toy." The roof was fine. It was me who was the fool. That was when my mindset shifted. I stopped seeing him as my father. I started seeing him as a liability, a manipulator, a man who thrived on power over me. And power, I realized, could be reclaimed. The orchestration. So I waited patiently. Every text, every call, every favor he requested, I agreed. I meticulously kept receipts, transferred funds, made reservations, and smiled through clenched teeth. I became the dutiful child he thought I still was. But in the background, I was constructing something else, a quiet arsenal of bank statements, screenshots, and recorded calls, enough evidence of his exploitation to ensure that if the day came, he'd have no leverage left. That day arrived with his little declaration, "You're not invited." The irony was biting. After everything I'd given, I was still disposable to him. He thought he was cutting me down, but in reality, he was cutting his own throat. The holiday retreat in Switzerland, the one he'd bragged to his friends about hosting, was cancelled. The $10,000 festive fund I had wired for provisions, beverages, and decorations was back in my account before he'd finished pouring his drink. I left him nothing but cold silence. By morning, his fury filled my phone. 20 missed calls, each one angrier than the last. And then the message that made me laugh out loud. "You can't do this. Everyone's expecting Christmas here. I've already told them you were paying. They'll know it was you who ruined it." I laughed because it was perfect. For once, the humiliation wasn't mine to carry. He showed up at my residence 2 days later. Red-faced, sweating, his eyes wild with desperation. He didn't knock. He pounded. Opened the door, damn it. I let him in, calmly, sipping coffee. Every detail of the scene was arranged for maximum effect. Papers spread on the table, his bank transfers, screenshots of his requests, photos of his boat, dates, amounts, his entire scheme laid out like evidence before a judge. He froze when he saw it. His eyes darted from paper to paper, panic unraveling his bravado. "What the hell is this?" he demanded, voice cracking. "This," I said, sliding 1 page closer to him, "is the history of you using me. Every lie, every theft, every manipulation. I kept it all." His mouth opened, but no sound came out. "You thought cancelling Christmas was punishment," I continued. "But you never understood. I was already done with you. I was just waiting for the right moment to let you feel it." I watched the fight drain from him. I watched the realization settle in. He had nothing left to hold over me. No money, no control, no pride to stand on. For once, He was the one left begging. Please don't show this to anyone. I'll make it right. Just don't ruin me. I leaned back, savoring it. The silence stretched until it was unbearable. Then I gave him the final cut. I'm not ruining you. You did that yourself. I'm just not cleaning up after you anymore. He left that day smaller, deflated, a man stripped of his illusion of power. And I, for the first time, felt light. The festive period came and went. He spent it alone, from what I heard. Meanwhile, I booked a solo trip with that same money, a quiet cabin in the mountains.